You are live.
Welcome.
We are live. Welcome to How Did We Miss That? This is Indy. I got Reef here with me.
I'm Reef.
We are live.
Yeah.
Welcome to How Did
I
We
like
Miss That?
you said we were going to start
This
in
is
the two
Indy.
box, and then you completely forgot.
I got Reef no, I didn't start.
This is why we miss things.
Nice.
That's how we miss things.
There we go.
Same reasons. Yep. There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
you are. Hey, Reef. What's going on? There we go.
Not much. Not much.
Welcome,
Now you could go
Criggs.
back to the other one.
I hear Criggs. Yeah, now we're going to have to go back to the other one.
Criggs is here.
But I just wanted to talk about, just introduce the show a little bit for anybody who's watching or anybody who watches afterwards on replay. Talk about what the show's about. We're going to cover a few stories from the past week that we haven't seen covered anywhere in the YouTube sphere, essentially. And we're going to run one video from Richard Medhurst because he's a legend. And
I got that.
And he had a take on Afghanistan that I thought everybody really needed to hear. And we're going to talk about the outside the United States viewpoint of what happened in Afghanistan. So I think we're ready to get started whenever you are here. So let me switch over to our main screen cast.
Computer. Main screen.
So now we're going to show, this is the current view of Leftists.today, which is our Substack. Substack, again, is just a summary of just the top 5 articles and top 5 videos that are featured in each edition of Independent Left News, or Indie Left News, as you can see on the Substack here. Now, inside the Substack, what we do is we include 5 videos and 5 articles that are at the top and featured more prominently in Indie Left News. And then what we do is try to include tweets and embed the videos. You can actually watch it right on this Substack. This is emailed to you, so you can get this twice a day. Sign up for free at independentleft.media.substack.com or leftists.today. So you can sign up for that there. So the first story that we had, and so there's a bit of a theme to the early on stories that I found, and it's that the press is under assault, like I said. So this is an amazing article. I don't know if you saw this, Reef. I think that our deal is that you don't see the articles beforehand, right?
Yeah, I try not to. Occasionally we find ones that we both saw, but you know.
So this
is from Popular Resistance.
This is from Popular Resistance. It's actually from Fairness and Accuracy in Reporting, another excellent publication that's uncorrupted, that doesn't take any corporate money. It's actually a little bit easier to read on this site. So this is a 39-year-old writer and photographer, has been blind in one eye for more than a year. And why is that? She was shot by a cop.
Oh, fun. What rubber bullet, tear gas grenade?
The last photographs before she was,
do you remember?
Shot in the face with a rubber jacketed bullet. Show Minneapolis police aiming at her during the BLM protests. I mean, her lawsuit argues that her civil rights were violated. Okay, and we're seeing this anti-media police violence all these times when police have been shooting rubber and quote-unquote non-lethal.
Do we have to state vision is a human right? Do we have to say that? You know?
Right?
Like, makes no sense.
Oh, I see the thing here. All right, well, thanks for subscribing, whoever that was. I can't quite see who that was. The box
over there on small. Twitch.
Cool.
Yeah.
Welcome. Hey.
Yeah.
Bones, how are you? Oh, Bess. Oh, hi, Bess. Cool. Millennial Splaining. We're going to be doing a podcast with Millennial Splaining soon.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, again, brutality during the George Floyd protests was only the latest expression of this kind of anti-police media violence. So you've got during the police
Yeah.
killing of Michael Brown, all the way back to Standing Rock. Tirado case brings the memory of Ruben Salazar. But even more recently, we saw in LA specifically, the cops have been really pretty brutal toward journalists. Tina Desiree Berg, I
Yep.
know, was targeted a couple of times. And then they had that reporter that was taken down by police there. Again, this is in
Right.
Minnesota. Radical leftist agenda. How are you?
Minnesota,
Welcome.
huh?
Hey, Nikki. So unless a settlement is reached, a win for her in federal court would not simply just be for her. A verdict for her would be a part of federal case law and set a precedent that journalists who face police violence could reference. That would be
Darlene
huge.
said there was one protest where the cops were trying to get the names of journalists, like they were making a list. I hope that's not a list they check twice, you know?
For sure.
So,
Oh, that's cool.
like,
Okay, let me move this to
what?
where I can see the chat better because it's out of my view. All right. Oh, much better. Hey, okay.
Vision.
We got Bones over there on Twitch right now, I see. So we've got Bess over on Twitch. That's so cool. Very cool. And
Yep.
it was John with Status Coup, correct. Exactly. So transcending, he said, she said. Okay, while Tirado's case has been covered in corporate media as well as press freedom organizations, very little of this coverage connects her injury to the fact that she is precisely the kind of inequality-minded reporter, earthed in her own experience of poverty, that the U.S. press desperately needs more of. Her journalism transcends the he said, she said mainstream. Her work is both personal and outward-looking, fighting against both poverty itself and popular misconceptions about the subject of U.S. poverty. Again, Ari Paul is a fantastic writer. I'm a fan of his. You can follow him on Twitter at Ari Paul, ARIPAUL. He writes for Fair. This was in the September 5th edition of in the evening edition of Leftists Today.
Right.
And I'll put a link to that in the show notes after we're all done here. Got to get all that back together.
Yep.
Again, so they have a Patreon.
We need to make up show notes that we just put into like a Google Drive link that we update.
It's
when you're doing it, you know.
It's already in Google Drive, actually.
We just have to put a link in the description.
Yeah, but then
like
everything, I think everything
live.
inside that folder, may be or above it may be viewable. Yep. So I just have to be careful about all of that and where I share that. But yes, I agree. Yep. We need to get that.
Yep.
So that was one article about journalists under assault, and like I said, there was a bit of a theme here because this isn't just happening in the United States; it's happening in London, and it's happening in Moscow. So this was actually shared by ICIJ, which is the International Consortium for Investigative Journalists, and we're gonna see them later on.
Right.
There's another story for them that's a little bit more interesting and uplifting, but they shared this, which is that the Moscow police were arresting journalists for picketing against their foreign agent designations. That the Justice Ministry were
and it sounds like what United States cops do.
Well, any independent media outlet was designated as a foreign agent.
Gotcha.
Look at everybody dropping all the... Oh, Bob Ross, that's really funny. Happy trees. Happy trees.
Happy little trees.
Happy little. Let's put a mountain right there. I love that guy. He's unbelievable. So on the evening, this is unbelievable. So police arrested iStories journalists. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the names, but they were designated as foreign agents alongside several iStories journalists and the publication itself. Who's acting as a mod? Oh God, Fanto's modding. Oh my goodness. Everybody's a mod, just about.
Yeah, everybody's a mod. You just toss everyone a wrench. Everyone a wrench. Here, you have a wrench. You have a wrench.
Luigi, you get a wrench. You get a wrench. Dude, these are... Yes, this is
What's
this
up,
this is
everybody?
the fam. Craig gets a wrench. Everybody's getting a wrench tonight. Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Radical leftist agenda. Where is she? There she is. Nice. There you are, Nick. Of course, Nikki's getting a wrench. You kidding?
Mhm.
Nice. Wicked bastard. Nice. We're getting everybody in there tonight. This is awesome.
He's over there by Harvard Yard.
Wicked
Huh?
bastard. I think
Super wicked.
I think that's actually Sabby Sab's
Everybody sounds like they're from The Departed.
shadow account.
Right?
So again, I don't read Cyrillic, but it says on September 8th, dozens of Russian media outlets took part in an online campaign opposing the country's foreign agents law. The campaign, which was timed to coincide with the International Day of Journalist Solidarity. I didn't even know that was a thing, but
Man,
I certainly stand.
it's got to be hard for you to work directly for Putin and not read Cyrillic. How does that? That must make
I certainly cover a
logistics
lot
pretty
of
difficult,
the stuff that his outlets put out. I can tell you that for sure. But
yeah.
It's just interesting that that every single journalist and writer and all the top talent anyone that challenges imperialism end up somehow at RT America, Sputnik.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Gray zone.
Right?
It's all the same people.
Okay, so
but
again, so we won't give up because you're with us. Again, you've got a couple of tweets here. They have a Telegram as well, a Telegram channel, which again, unless you read Russian, I don't recommend, but they do have a couple of the photos here. A couple of the photos here. I think this is live from their Telegram channel. Okay. I think I can open in Telegram, and that might be a little dangerous. Is that dangerous?
Yeah, it probably is.
Can I hide my chats on Telegram so that you can't see that? I'll bet I can. View.
You can just pull it over into that monitor and
I don't want.
Like you're already only doing half that monitor, right?
Yeah. So that's basically what we want to see right there. And we're going to go right there. And we're going to go right there. And these are some of the shots. This is Medusa. Wow, look at some of these pictures. That's unbelievable. It's beautiful, stunning stuff. But that's not what I wanted to see. Yep. Here's the looking for dates. This is all today. We need from, hold on, behind it.
Lesbone asks, so what's the deal with Robbie Yeager? I just saw his tweet about the gray zone. I have no idea. I can investigate while he's doing stuff.
Any looking into the gray zone? No, it was the Intercept, right? No, he said something about the Intercept. I didn't see anything about the gray zone. What?
They say Robbie Yeager yelled at me. What?
Oh no, what? It was the Intercept.
Can't Google.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the Intercept, and it was yeah, and I even chimed in on that. Look at the response that I put into that tweet. Oh wow,
I'll have to find it.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to find that in Telegram. We'll have to see it here.
Robbie.
So there's her protesting.
Robbie.
And there's other women protesting, journalists protesting. They were taken to Yakimanka police station. Online campaign opposing.
Oh, it's probably about Clip and Stooge. Well,
it wasn't just Clip and, it's Clip and Stooge, and what he said was basically, hey, Intercept, if I dox somebody and act really, kind of dismissive towards important news stories, can I get a job too? And then he said, basically, I'll never work there there's no amount of money that I could ever work for. Yeah. You up the you need to up your horse game, bro. That's exactly what I.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Nikki. That's exactly what I said. So here, a list of foreign agents includes 47 individuals and organizations. 2/3 of these entries have been included in registry since April. Protect was an undesirable organization. So this is a lot of fun right here.
Yeah, there's some
Medusa.
There's some,
the real Russia today. That's pretty funny the way that they play on that. Oh, they're independent.
I like how they did that.
I see what they did there. I see what you did there. Okay, so getting back toward the next story. And again, I said that we've got some ICIJ stuff. The next one is really inspiring. And this was in the evening edition from 9/7. And it's from behind the scenes, what it takes to train hundreds of the best investigative reporters in the world. And one of the teams, meet a team member, but she provides support and training to more than 500 reporters. And that is unreal. What's it like to work on an investigation for a year?
Convo Les Bones has a petition about it on change.org, I think, about Stooge and that tweet.
Yeah, exactly. It was because
yeah. You just go look for their Twitter. You'll find it.
Yeah, somebody was messing around with Fee, and you don't mess with Fee, and you don't cover.
Yeah, well, Fee. Johnny made a petition, I think.
Oh, I don't know who made the petition in response.
Made a petition against the petition. Yeah. Dave. I saw who it was, but I can't remember it now.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but somebody made a petition to counter the
disingenuous
petition.
Dave, something like that.
Somebody posted it, and then
one of those.
Then Kenny retweeted it and with a lols or something, which was kind of messed up. And lots of fun and games.
Fun stuff.
Lots of fun and games. So Yelena Kosick, again, ICIJ is one of these organizations that nobody knows about, that everybody really should, and everybody should be subscribing to, and everybody should be supporting. It is a global consortium of investigative journalists. It's literally it says it in their name, but it is people who are connected all around the world and have agreed to share information, and they have broken the Panama Papers and the FinCEN files and exposed corruptions that have brought down world leaders and forced governmental policy to change.
Right.
Amazing people. And it was, I'll give a hat tip to a friend of mine that I met a year and a half ago named Guilherme Fori. He's from Brazil. He's actually in our Discord. And he turned me on to the ICIJ. And he said, if you're following independent news, how are you not following this? And I appreciate him turning me on to this, because then they broke the FinCEN files investigation, and nobody really even knows what that was. But that exposed corruption at a massive scale, and how the global banking system was being exploited to launder money through the major banks, and with their knowledge. And there were tons of red flags that were raised, and they basically turned a blind eye to it. So the ICIJ is an outstanding organization, and I believe that BuzzFeed is in partnership with them in the United States, but there are some other independent journalists and organizations that go with it. Okay, so here, the Offshore Leaks database, and they have all these different databases that are available to them. Here are their journalists. And yeah, so Yelena Kosick, she's one of their researchers. Anisha Coley, I like that there's Will Fitzgibbon is one of their writers that I'm a fan of. And literally, they've got writers in every single country and investigative reporters. If I go down to the United States, you got Zimbabwe, Venezuela, Uruguay, and you see United States, they've got a pretty substantial sized following and footprint. Thomas Mayer, I've definitely republished some of his stuff. I'm guessing the other ones are in the UK or Australia. But again, an outstanding group of investigators and writers, and they've uncovered some amazing stuff. So that was one thing, was just the article about what it takes to train hundreds of them and to get them all on the same page. The other thing that I thought was really fascinating, I saw this on Labor Day. Somebody shared it. This is kind of like a bonus story. I don't have this as a link anywhere. ICIJ, the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. They actually have a channel in my Discord as well. Nice.
You know what time it is?
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. In Lisbon, Portugal.
It's still 4:20 somewhere.
Okay. Well, Boncam. Nice. Reese got Boncam on.
Yep, Boncam.
I can't keep my eye on all the screens. There's too much between chat, reading the stuff. Okay, so this was amazing. This lady, Jessica Huseman, she's the editor for the Friendly State News, and apparently she's the founder as well. So let me give a shout out to the Friendly State News.
I like how we wait for the good boy timer to go off on the live stream before it's the right time, you know? just so we can avoid YouTube pulling stuff, you know?
Okay, good boy.
Good boy. A good boy timer.
So,
as long as we get past that first 20 minutes.
The tweet that I actually saw was about the fifth one in this thread. Oh, see, and I didn't even see the rest of these. So, what she says is, some professional news, y'all. For the last few months, I've been working on creating a small company that will do low-cost trainings on public records and investigative techniques for local newsrooms, freelancers, and students. Our first training is a formal organization.
You showed me some of this, right?
I sent this to you, but I thought everybody really needed to see this. Our first training is a formal organization. Will be a freelancer training on Saturday, September 18th at 12 p.m. Central. It's $15 a person. This year, she won't be teaching at Columbia or NYU. So you will be getting a Columbia level education for $15. Newsroom trainings for as many journalists as you want, $500. Student newsroom trainings, $250. $15 a person for freelancers. If you want to sponsor a training for a local newsroom, here's a way to do it. Email Isabella at thefriendlystatenews.com. If you're an editor at a local newsroom or a student newsroom and want this training, you can book it directly on our website. And if you want this training but can't afford it, we'll help you find someone to offset the cost. Journalism training shouldn't be inaccessible. This is incredible. So this is the tweet that I found. Please note. Is my thing shaking? Looks like my microphone is shaking.
I don't think so.
Please note, I am doing this in my spare time and can only afford to pay my sidekick Isabella for 1 day of work per week right now anyway, so your emails will be responded to on Mondays. I am doing what I can. So I'm like, wait, what is this? And I saw that she's offering this journalist training and investigative training, Columbia NYU level education for $15 per freelancer. That's pretty wow. So Google was built in a basement. The Friendly State News was built while... Why did that just cover it up? Well, Isabella and I sat around bitching about how expensive journalism training programs and graduate schools are. We are here for you. Also, we are currently not a nonprofit because setting one of those up is expensive, and she's not a lawyer and doesn't know how to do it. So if you're a lawyer in Texas and want to help me, please reach out. Jessica at the Friendly State News. So I love that she says that she's been planning this basically in secret for months. And let me tell y'all, her heart is so warm from all the encouragement and offers to help make it possible for newsrooms to do this training. And yes, it does. Twitter is an amazing place because you see my DMs are open. I just saw that. I literally did do this. I didn't tell anyone until it was a real thing. So now it is. And there you go. Unreal. And now I can sponsor a training, which I want to do. So I responded to one of these tweets, and I don't remember which one. Probably the one that I hearted. And I just said, this is amazing or something like that. But essentially, if anybody wants to do this and can't afford it, let me know. I'll see if we can work something out. And maybe you'll do some writing for Independent Left. Which is something else that I wanted to put out there. We are going to start having more journalists do ghostwriting, or not ghostwriting, but guest spots on the Substack. So if you are looking to publish, you're certainly going to be welcome to publish it as Independent Left. And wanted to put that out there for anybody looking. You know, you're looking to start a Substack and you want to gain a little bit more visibility. I want to put that out there and offer that as well. So
come on down to Indie Left Substack Depot.
Well, and we're gonna work on as well. Yep, Luigi. I see Luigi looking at that. Yep. Somebody I know was talking about that with me. So that's really cool.
My name is Keith.
All right, so continuing the Substack theme, Richard Medhurst has a Substack. And Reef, we are going to flip over to just the two of us watching Reef Screen.
Now, where is the Medhurst video that I had saved?
In Discord?
Is it? Should be. Yeah, I'll just pull it up again. I swear I pulled it up and like had it ready. Right. I also need to do this. Right. You see old Richie.
Brother
Right.
Rich.
Let me move my name. Where's that thing at?
It's a 2-minute and 16-second video entitled "The War on Terror is a Giant Scam."
You can tell me when you want me to pause, for sure.
I don't even know if we need to pause. I mean, I just want to let them run, kind of. Your sound's not. I'm not hearing your sound. And theater mode.
Are you still not hearing it?
I'm not hearing it.
Why is that the case?
I don't know. Of course we get the tech stuff now.
Nah, it's all right. I think I know what it is. Output.
Hey, look at that thumbnail on the right-hand side while you're there. I see one of the thumbnails, the thumbnail from tonight's episode, actually, which is really cool.
Yep, from tonight's episode. Go click that video, give it a like.
Like, share, subscribe. I know we have no sound.
Input.
Afghanistan. Okay? People in the West need to stop with this are arguing about the withdrawal from Afghanistan, blaming Trump, blaming Biden. Oh, we should withdraw like this. No. There's only one way to withdraw. It's called get the fuck out of Afghanistan. Okay? People in the West need to stop with this colonial mindset, thinking they can just invade countries, kill people, stay there for 20 years, and then act like they are the victims. And at Kabul airport, you can see this American arrogance in its purest form when 60 Afghans died, and yet people are asking you to pray for the Marines as if they're the only ones with souls. How Christian of you. This whole situation could have been avoided if the US did not hijack the airport for itself and hadn't invaded Afghanistan to begin with. Because people didn't just die yesterday, they've been dying every day and suffering every day for 20 years. But the media don't want you to remember that. They want you to focus on how bad the withdrawal is, so you forget how bad the war was. They're trying to whitewash history and make you think that a brutal occupation that lasted 2 decades was some kind of humanitarian mission. 3,000 people tragically lost their lives on 9/11. And after the US invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, who had nothing to do with 9/11, it killed 10, 20 times more people. You call that a war on terror? That's a war of terror. And then you have these generals going on CNN yesterday claiming that ISIS did the attack in collaboration with the Taliban. their enemy. They just make up the most insane crap to try and keep the war going. Today it's Al-Qaeda, then it's Al-Qaeda in Iraq, then it's ISIS, then it's ISIS-K. It's never ending. They always have a new excuse, a new boogeyman, just keep making up new threats to bomb this country and invade that country and sanction this country. Meanwhile, the defense and weapons contractors, their friends, are making trillions of dollars. And if you look where these groups come from, who funded them, it's the United States. The US says it's fighting Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, it's funding Al-Qaeda in Syria, and Israel is helping them too. And then they want to come and sell you this nonsense of a democracy and women's rights. Oh, really? Is Saudi Arabia a democracy? Colombia and Israel respect human rights? How come the US isn't invading them? Most of the hijackers on 9/11 were Saudis, and instead they blamed Iraq and Afghanistan. Yep. This whole war on terror is a giant scam. It is a racket. And watch out, because they're going to keep inventing bullshit threats and starting wars and bombing and killing people so they can make money. It is the biggest crime of the 21st century. They are making a killing, literally, and getting away with it.
How do you give 2 likes?
Shotgun.
Is there a way to give 2 likes?
Dude, that guy is a shotgun to the face every single fucking segment.
It only lets me unlike. If I hit the like button, like people should, it only lets me do 1. I want to do like multiple likes.
No, you need different accounts to be able to do that from.
Yeah.
But everybody should be subscribed to Richard Medhurst. If you haven't already, I think everybody in this chat probably already is. He is one of the best investigative journalists. He is now a what do you call it? The commentator for RT. He also has been working with Press TV for almost a year. He was in the gallery for the Assange extradition trial back last September, about a year ago. He's done some amazing work, and again, highly recommend everyone subscribe and support his work as an independent journalist. So again, not as independent as he used to be, but still he is certainly running independent. When I see segments like that, it's just wow, unreal. Ha ha ha. Disclaimer that. What are we disclaimering? Oh, yeah. That definitely is we need to disclaimer that. YouTube, we're joking. Just joking. Nice news shorts.
Congratulations. We've received 100 messages today with Restream chat.
Was
apparently.
By the way,
I know, right?
Affordable newsroom training. I forgot to mention and show the rest of this site. It is the Friendly State News is the name of the website.
Oh no, wicked bastard embarrassed me in front of my journalism students.
Nice.
That's real unfortunate.
Well, that's what happens when you get up during the middle of the show, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
So
I had to make sure my on-air sign was on. Journalism students at home, make sure your on-air sign is on when you're on air. That would help.
It's going along the theme of journalists who are a shotgun to the face living abroad. Caitlin Johnstone.
Miss Caitlin Johnstone.
Swoon. I cannot swoon this woman enough. I know she's married. I don't care. I adore her. She's phenomenal. I can't gush enough. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Her husband, Tony, actually does the readings of her articles on SoundCloud. He is absolute deadpan, and it's fantastic. And I can't.
He has that NPR voice where it's all just right in that middle register.
It's perfect because the way that the material that it's delivering, and again, the way that it's just delivering a shotgun to the face with incredibly Bob Ross dulcet type of tones is just, and he takes those deep breaths and long pauses, and it's just incredible. I love them both. Maybe one of these days we'll get to talk. So again, the U.S. This was actually back on August 30th. So this was like the day before the quote unquote pullout. I think this is after they've abandoned Bagram. But before the last plane the last the U.S. has officially announced the completion of its military withdrawal from Afghanistan, minus of course CIA ops, which will continue in that country, and the bombs that will continue to likely rain down in the name of fighting terrorism. And I love that she's got all the links, so she sources everything. She again just kills it. So
it's ridiculous.
There's a lot of warmongers rending their garments over the termination of a decades-long military occupation, which accomplished nothing besides making war profiteers wealthy, killing hundreds of thousands of people. Almost as ridiculous are the countless... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it reminds me of like, have you ever read Fear and Loathing?
No.
You ever read Hunter S? Yeah.
Let me make that a little bigger.
The tidal wave of the zeitgeist that is, like the way he writes, right? Mm-hmm. Very, very similar in some cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did not read Fear and Loathing. I didn't even get to see the Johnny Depp movie, which is embarrassing.
If you watch the movie when Johnny Depp sits at the typewriter, right? It's that famous like paragraph of his book or whatever, talking about how like the tidal wave that was the 70s has crashed, and this is the like of the hippie movement and that kind of stuff, the counterculture. It's a real interesting, like, he like pours on the writing there, but it's good stuff. But that sentence reminded me that the warmongers rendering their garments over the termination of a decade, like, it's that, gonna make sure you know exactly what I mean here,
So good. So good. Let me post. I forgot to mention somewhere that we are live.
In case people didn't know that we're live. Yeah, we are live, everybody. It's live.
Are we? I mean, we're halfway there.
I think.
We're
almost eyes on the road, man.
Watch the road. Watch the road. Okay, we're gonna do that.
Watch the road, man.
So this is not okay. So praise, pride, and celebration are not the appropriate emotional response to the day. The appropriate response to a decades overdue withdrawal from a war that should never have happened in the first place is rage. Unmitigated rage at an unforgivable atrocity which amassed a mountain of corpses for no legitimate reason, from which the region will probably not recover in our lifetime. Unmitigated rage at those responsible for starting and maintaining the horror all this time. It's alive, right?
What's what are the stages of grief? Which we're in anger now. Is that what she's saying?
Well, first it was denial, right?
We've been in denial. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So yeah, this
eventually we get to acceptance.
I would hope so. Well, then we'll get there. Yeah. But when? This is not something he should be applauded for. Nobody deserves praise or credit for ending a 20-year disaster, especially one they helped start, because of how influential he was in convincing Bush to go to war in Afghanistan and Iraq. Nobody applauds the mass shooter for finally setting down their rifle. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is just... Ew.
Yeah.
Wow. Every single Allied soldier who died in Afghanistan died in vain. They died fighting not for national security, freedom, or democracy, but for war industry profit margins and for the idiotic geostrategic agendas of globe-dominating imperialists. Damn, dude, such a linguist. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no moral reason we're there at this point. Right. It wasn't, we never had any moral reason to go.
We were protecting
we didn't care about any of the people.
Right.
We just cared about what was underneath the people's feet. That's minerals, oil. That's it. They were just on our land. Get off our land, people who owned it.
Oh yeah, no, certainly, yes. Every single Allied soldier agreed. Yes, every single Afghan civilian was killed. This is also the reason every Afghan soldier and Afghan civilian was killed during that time. Absolutely. Actually, one of the articles tonight was, or this morning, was talking about acknowledging all of the victims of the global war on terror since 9/11, and that certainly is
we
something that
pulled one
want
for
to acknowledge.
We pulled one for KRTD the other day that just went through, just from bombings alone, how many people the U.S. has killed in just bombings, and it was like you couldn't even. It was like 300,000. It was like some crazy number of like. It was like like I had to pull up one of those visualizer things to be like, all right, how many dots is that? You know, like, and it's just you just keep scrolling, you know.
Done in our name.
So, yeah.
So again, Caitlin's work is entirely reader supported. So follow her everywhere. She has platforms.
Yep.
She's on Substack. She has her website. She's also on Medium, I believe. Everyone, racist platforms excluded, has my permission to republish. Well, thank you. We're not a racist platform, so free of charge, because Caitlin is fucking based and she's awesome and we love her. So for info on who she is
farmersonly.com a racist platform? Is that?
You don't have to be lonely with Farmers Only. Come on.
I still, how is that? How did no one think that was just a joke? Like, how? Anyway,
dude,
no one went, I don't know about this, boss.
Took off.
You know.
So again,
and then there was Christian Mingle.
Caitlin's Substack is awesome. I also get her Medium emails. We retweet every single one of her articles as soon as it's published. I have her on auto tweet through the RSS feed, so whenever she does publish,
that looks like an Onion article on the top.
Well, it kind of was.
It looks like
she writes phenomenal satire. Okay, let's cool our jets here a minute. I know we're all worked up at the 20th anniversary of 9/11. That's
I wonder how. Wait. I wonder. Have you seen the new Thor?
No.
Have you seen that going around Twitter? That meme yet?
Oh no.
So scroll up a little bit to this guy. No, just scroll the other way. Your other up. He's got that Thor hammer. I wonder what he thinks. I wonder what he thinks of the new Thor. It's ridiculous.
Oh goodness, Steve Schmidt.
But they like redesigned Thor and God of War. I think I'll pull it up so you can see. It's been making its rounds on Twitter because people find it funny.
Steve Schmidt. Not only was January 6th worse than 9/11. You saw Pam Keith made this same tweet today. This must be a Lincoln Project thing. So all of them are coming out with this talking point, right? Yeah. Popular hashtag resistance pundit Majid Padelin. You know who that is? Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
Sure.
I'm traumatized all over again.
Oh, gross.
Don't try to tell me
I did not know who that was.
Yeah. It's Brooklyn.
I mean, I do know who that is.
Yeah, that's his name.
I wish I didn't know who that was.
That's his name.
Is that possible? Can we just like memory erase that from my,
No, you need to know that, because when you see that popped up, you have to know that. That is something we all need to know, and his name should be in lights everywhere. Totally paid shill. DNC operative.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that's the the foreign view of the Afghanistan withdrawal from two of the greatest, Richard and Caitlin Johnstone. So I have two other stories here to cover, and then we'll get to our boats crashing into other boats. 12:45. That's pretty good. So popular information. All right. Just underwent a logo change after Labor Day. They took a 2-week break hiatus. This has been around for about 3 years. Judd Legume used to be the editor-in-chief of Think Progress, which was actually a progressive website before the Center for American Progress meddled, interfered, got rid of everybody, and shut down the website. It was one of the best websites around.
pull up my
your screen.
Pull up my thing. Yeah.
Done.
And then my transition. So this, from what I've seen on Twitter, the ladies like this new Thor. They're okay with this apparently. And shout out, ladies, if you are okay with this, because this could come home with you very easily.
He's beefy.
I'm just saying.
He's a biggins,
give
dude.
me a call.
I would not mess with that man.
I don't know how they got my like high school pictures, but you know, this is
dude. That the beard
like, this
is
pretty
kind
much
of haunting.
me. Yeah, the beard. Like if I just dye my beard and braid it, I should be able to pull this off.
What you need is a lighter shirt so people can really see the depth of the beard.
the depth of the beard. Yeah, I know, right? It goes.
And you trimmed it up.
Pretty good.
But it's got decent length.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It does. I try to keep some length on it for sure, but I just found this funny when that guy's got that Thor hammer. Now this is Thor, you know? But yeah, apparently controversy over this Thor.
I can't imagine why. Actually, your screen, when you change your screen, it actually you know what you should do? Just keep it up there. What? Just keep it up there on screen. Just keep
it up there. No one would know.
Have you in the bottom corner. Yep, there you go. That's Reef now.
That's me now.
And you should probably turn your name badge back on at some point. Right?
Yeah, I should.
Right?
I had to go to this screen to do that. And it just immediately blinks into place. It just bing.
Look at that.
Like I don't have a animation for it, but
nice. So Popular Information is an amazing website. Judd Legume, Tesnim Zakaria. Now he's brought on a couple of other people. It's essentially a 3-4 person operation that started with a one-man Substack, and he's an investigative reporter and journalist. He gives his commentary and viewpoints, and he also follows the money. And I love reporters who follow the money. And they're some of the best. So this was put out in the 9/7 morning edition. He usually publishes early in the morning, and it's usually accompanied by a pretty scathing tweet thread that we can bring up on the Substack, and I'll go through it. So Texas just enacted the nation's most draconian abortion ban, prohibiting all abortions after 6 weeks. But here's the thing. Everybody's all up in arms about the Democrats, the Republicans that are doing it. Follow the money. These are the corporations that bankrolled the sponsors of the abortion ban. So where are they getting the money from? So further, the law places a $10,000 bounty on anyone who helps a woman obtain an abortion in Texas after 6 weeks, right?
I saw a bunch of people shut down a few of those like bounty hunter organizations online.
Yeah, definitely like don't call this, and definitely don't hit this, and that with instructions on exactly how to do it. I saw that as well.
Yeah.
Politicians who sponsor Texas abortion ban are backed by some of the nation's most prominent corporations, AT&T. And here's AT&T's statement about core values and all respecting all employees, right? So John Stankey, you can't make up these CEO names. AT&T since 2008 has donated $301,000 to the sponsors of SB 8. One of the ways that you get these guys, you shut these things down, is you go after the funding and you go after the corporations and you call out that hypocrisy. And they talked about on August 26th.
Well, what was it? Hmm? What did we see today? It was one of your like that they removed allowed reallocation of all their workers or whatever from Texas.
Salesforce.
Where did I just see that?
Salesforce.
That's what it is.
Relocation. Salesforce will pay for any employee who wants to relocate out of
offer
Texas
to relocate. Yeah.
Due to this law. It's serious stuff, and corporate responsibility and doing what you say. Previously, they've been more outspoken about extreme abortion bans. In 2019, Georgia enacted a ban after 6 weeks. Warner Media, which was a subsidiary, said that if it was upheld, they would reconsider Georgia as the home to any new productions. Ultimately, it was
Makes
invalidated, which doesn't surprise us at all. And likely this could be, but the problem is that they're opening the door, and the Supreme Court already said that they didn't want to. Well, I heard that Florida's Darlene also working on drawing up a law about this, and several other states are right behind, unfortunately.
Yep.
So, other corporations publicly champion women's rights are major backers of SB 8, Comcast, NBC Universal, home of Sam Cedars Majority Report, and the TYT channel on the Comcast Xfinity platform, X1. I believe they still have a channel there. There are some other...
How the mighty have fallen.
The Peacock Network, that is even Mehdi Hassan, wouldn't that affect? Even Rachel Maddow has donated $58,000 to the sponsors of SB 8 since 2018, which is not a ton of money, honestly, which just means that lawmakers come real cheap. 2020, NBC Universal announced a year-long advertising campaign focusing on women's empowerment. I wonder if SB 8 is included in that. Right, so what's changed? Jen Stark of the Tower Health Foundation, who helped organize the corporate response, said the lack of national media attention on the tax bill caught them off guard. Oh, it just caught us off guard. Okay, but while corporate America thinks things over, women in Texas are living under the oppressive new law. Yeah, they have to consider the business impact of these new bans, and they need to speak out. And yes, this is just here. CVS Health, of course, the other large corporate donors to sponsors, and they actually put out, and this is on Instagram. I found this on popular.info on Instagram. These are the sponsors of the Senate bill in Texas, and this is all their contributions to the Republican sponsors.
State Farm?
Republican sponsors of the bill. General Motors.
Ouch.
With a female CEO, Mary Barra.
Ouch.
The largest donor, TLR PAC, has donated nearly $2.3 million to the sponsors of SB 8. Legislation that helps to sue anyone that helps a woman get an abortion in Texas and receive $10,000. TLR, Texans for Lawsuit Reform.
I mean, what's the soonest they could get Supreme Court could rule against it, right?
Well, they just decided not to rule.
They haven't.
They decided not to rule on it at all.
Right. So now, what's the next step of trying to get that fixed?
Right. Well, let's see. Well, the answer is, unfortunately, it's going to be to pack the court. But then what's going to stop a Republican from packing the court once he gets into office? If they've got the House, the Senate, and the White House.
Right.
You're going to start a never-ending cycle there. Supreme Court has the ability to preserve the status quo when plaintiffs have a strong chance of success on the merits. Effectively, the 5 justices were arguing that the law does not create any harm absent a lawsuit, but as the dissenting justices noted,
that was me.
At midnight, no, it was actually me. The act becomes law.
It was both of us.
And many abortion providers, including applicants, cease providing abortion care after more than 6 weeks from a woman's last period. That's how did the Supreme Court become an institution that would set aside Roe without even a cursory attempt to grapple with decades of jurisprudence? Well, that's fair. Here's how. No organization has played a greater role in pushing the Supreme Court hard right than the Federalist Society. Its leader, Leonard Leo, has been on a mission to turn back the clock to a time before the U.S. Supreme Court routinely expanded the government's authority and endorsed new rights such as abortion and same-sex marriage. No one had more influence on Trump's Supreme Court picks than Leonard Leo, of course, who also had a war chest of hundreds of millions of dollars to promote their confirmation. At times, he took a formal leave of absence from the Federalist Society to join the White House. Further merging of lobbying. The Federalist Society. And then again, according to its most recent annual report from 2019, corporate donors to the Federalist Society include Google, Facebook, Chevron, T-Mobile, Verizon, Exxon, and Campbell's Soup. Campbell's Soup for $5,000. Okay. Cool. Judd Legume. Again, please support independent journalists. Subscribe for free. Subscribe with a paid subscription if you can. I am a paid subscriber to this newsletter. It was one of the first paid newsletters that I supported. Such a believer in this guy and his work. I got one more story, and it's actually an uplifting and a positive one. And I have to thank the wonderful...
Yay! Yeah. Such a rarity.
Yeah. At least I think it's going to be positive. I have to thank the beautiful, wonderful, and terrific Sema Hernandez for sharing this one. I found this in the 9/9 morning edition of leftists.today and Independent Left News. Headline: Desmog blog, and this is also an excellent environmental reporting site. Indigenous Resistance instrumental in stopping high-profile fossil fuel projects, says report. So, what we're talking about is Line 3, Line 5, Keystone. The protectors of the land are actually protecting the land. And they've kept enormous volumes of carbon pollution out of the atmosphere already. So, a little bit of positive news amidst all the craziness that we're dealing with all the time. But certainly want to acknowledge the efforts of indigenous peoples in North America have helped block or delay a long list of major fossil fuel projects over the past decades, successfully leading to the avoidance of a massive amount of greenhouse gas emissions, according to a new report. The numbers don't lie. Indigenous peoples have long led the fight to protect Mother Earth. Dallas Goldtooth. Awesome. Love him. A Keep It in the Ground organizer for the Indigenous Environmental Network. He's actually been on Katie Halper's show a couple of times. The report was co-authored.
I also saw something that Harvard did recently with regards to fossil fuels and stuff. If anyone saw that article, I'll try to find that for you, Indy.
Cool.
I saw that one recently.
So the report was co-authored by IEN and Oil Change International, a research and advocacy organization focused on transitioning away from fossil fuels. So will it be biased? I don't know, but certainly they have reason to want to look into this. But what they're going to find, Indigenous Resistance Against Carbon. This is a great website. Wow, really? Well done. Wonder who made this. I'll have to look into this. IEN. I think I've actually shared articles from this website before. So Indigenous Resistance has been key in blocking at least 8 major pipelines projects, including Keystone, the 20 billion Canadian Tech Frontier tar sands mine in Alberta, the Jordan Cove LNG project in Oregon, drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Awesome. Taken together, those delayed and canceled projects would have been responsible for nearly 800 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent, or about 12% of the total emissions of the U.S. and Canada in 2019. That's a stunning amount.
Yep.
Another half dozen projects are currently contested, including Line 3, the Coastal GasLink pipeline, the Rio Grande LNG in Texas. These projects represent another 12% of total U.S. and Canadian emissions, which if opponents have their way, would bring the total carbon pollution avoided due to indigenous resistance to 1.6 billion metric tons of CO2 equivalent. The pollution from 400 coal-fired power plants. Now, that doesn't mean that we should create 400 new coal-fired power plants. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah, but what if they're clean coal?
345 million
what if they're clean coal?
passenger vehicles? Yeah. Well, again, that would only offset all of the things that all the indigenous people have done, and
yep,
we don't want to ruin their hard work.
No.
Dallas Goldtooth, by the way, is also a stand-up comedian, and he was a writer and co-producer, I believe, on the FX show about the reservation, Living on the Reservation, recently. Indigenous peoples continue to exert social and moral authority. The topic for today, we've had a couple different topics for today. We've covered about a half dozen news stories. This is the last one. This is about the indigenous peoples' resistance being instrumental in stopping fossil fuel projects. So some positive news about how the indigenous people of America or of North America are helping to save our environment. Again, one of the prominent leaders, LeDuc, who's this? Winona LeDuc. Yeah, I spent a lot of my life fighting stupid projects. It's like one unbelievably bad idea after another. Says Winona LeDuc. I don't want to mess up her name. She's phenomenal. Program director of Honor the Earth. Over many years, she's fought to protect both the White Earth Reservation in northern Minnesota, where she lives, and other Native American communities from a slew of dirty projects, including coal mines, coal-fired power plants, incinerators, and other nuclear waste facilities. She is currently one of the most prominent leaders in the fight against the Line 3 pipeline. Stop Line 3. Please stop Line 3. It's transporting dirty Canadian tar sands to our refineries for processing, for export, just like they had done with Keystone. It is the most pollutant. It is terrible for the ground, and it is almost guaranteed to leak at some point, likely in Minnesota and likely on indigenous land. They don't have another place to go. This is where they live. Fossil fuel projects on native lands often violate the principles of free, prior, and informed consent. Again, this is United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, a global resolution adopted by 144 nations in 2007. Only 4 countries opposed the declaration. Go figure. We're one of them.
Yep.
Years later, all 4 holdouts changed their position and announced their support for UN DRIP, but the support has been mostly rhetorical, lacking the force of law at the national level. You know, Mark Charles has spoken so eloquently about this. He spoke about this at the U.S. Solutions Summit. I know he's spoken at this on KRTD media interviews, as well as interviews on Hardlands Media. Wanted to give a shout out to Kit Cabello and Hardlands. But decision making for large fossil fuel projects on indigenous lands still often takes the form merely of consultation, a check-the-box procedure that governments impose on indigenous communities rather than conducting a process that require their affirmative consent before moving forward. And of course, affirmative consent also means compensation. And they're probably not going to give consent in the first place because, for example, DAPL. And they're going to talk about the disconnect between professed support for UN DRIP and how decisions are made in practice was DAPL, which crossed treaty territories for the Oceti-Sakowin people. In 2015, Standing Rock Sioux Tribe passed a resolution opposing the pipeline project due to the oil pipeline's threat to water, treaty rights, and sacred cultural sites, including areas in what is now North Dakota. This is, I mean, we all know what happened up at Standing Rock.
Yeah.
But just for anybody who doesn't know, it was the water protectors. Again, that was That was the indigenous peoples were the water protectors, and the cops essentially turned the water cannons on the water protectors and were working on behalf of the corporations. It's like a bunch of old cronies up here acting like they own the world, and there's a bunch of us saying, no, you don't, and we're going to keep fighting you. We're going to keep fighting you guys, and I love her for it. Both the IEA and UN International Government Panel on Climate Change have argued that a rapid phase out of fossil fuels is necessary to avoid catastrophic warming of global temperatures. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't pay attention to that, right? New fossil fuel projects should therefore be off the table. 100% agree. On September 3rd, several progressive members of Congress traveled to Minnesota. A day later, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was headlining a public event for the Minnesota Democratic Farmer Labor Party, where he was interrupted by activists opposing Line 3. Felicity tried to tamp down the outburst. Governor Walz, you can't hide. Line 3 is genocide. Love it. On September 7th, Biden visited New York to highlight the destructive damage of the floods. And they tell us this is code red. But again, they've been silent on Line 3. They did not renew the Keystone XL thing, which is great, but long way to go. So again, Desmog blog, Nick Cunningham, independent journalist, covers oil and gas. He's been featured all over the place on independent sites that cover the industry. So he's an expert about, and he's, I believe, also indigenous himself. So he speaks from experience, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. I just made that up. So that is the stories that I had set up for tonight. I want to see boats crashing into other boats because I'm wiped out. It's late. So
yeah, I think most of us are.
So let's
you got my thing up.
I got your thing up. Take your name badge off. There you go.
Nameplate off.
Nice.
In full cam.
All
I pressed the button, but it just decided to. So have you heard? Yep. Have you seen this? That CBS announced a competition show for activists, and it's been hit with, I like this, a fuck ton of backlash. That's a metric unit, I think. Yeah, CBS new competition series, The Activist, takes 5 activists and gets to compete to bring meaningful change to the world. Right? It's also being hosted by 3 mega rich celebrities: Usher, Priyanka Chopra, and Julianne Hough.
This sounds like The Voice, how you pronounce her name. But for activists. But
yeah, but like with yeah.
And Survivor, a little bit of Survivor or The Amazing Race is part of it. You know what? I did see like that Usher thing. Why did I see that?
Couldn't they just give the money it's going to take to pay this unbelievably expensive talent and make this show directly to activist causes, rather than turning activism into a game and giving a fraction of the much needed money away in a prize? People are dying, right? Like, there's so many people just going at them, like, for this ridiculousness.
Oh, Viacom.
You know? Yeah, I mean, this is bad, okay?
Yeah, that definitely.
This is bad, but let's go from that side of the spectrum to, good news. Italy to allow small-scale cannabis growing at home. So if you thought Jimmy Dore was going to stay in California for very long, all we have to do is ask Quando.
He does like to drink Negroni. I believe that's an Italian drink.
Negroni, and I think he's been to Italy and wish he never left. Negronis? No, I think they're Italian.
It is Italian.
They're made with Campari, so.
Then definitely an Italian drink.
But
then you had something about a car dealership, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I have. It's in here. I promise. Right. But first, I wanted you to know that it's dangerous to go alone, and you should take this with you.
Oh,
right. This is what our trees can bring us. So just take that with you.
That is
because you're gonna need it where we're going.
Wow, and that is an impressive role right there.
You're gonna need it where you're going because your new job is dealing with the murder hornets.
Ah!
The murder hornets. This is your job now.
That's what it feels like sometimes when I'm actually like reporting on the left.
That is just all these hornets. Like what?
Everybody fighting with
what
each other.
Is
it feels
that?
Like murder hornets all around me.
That's ridiculous.
Look in my DMs. It looks like murder hornets.
Oh, this is nutty. But anyway, here is a great way to make sure that the tenants after you don't get screwed over by the landlord. At Apartment Old, right, has these cards you can order, right, that say, "Welcome to my old apartment. Are you paying too much rent? When I moved out at this date, the rent was this much a month. The legal rent increase on PEI was 1.3." This is straight up saying, like, if it's more than this, it's illegal. You know? So I encourage a lot more of this. Yep. But now we move on to the adventures of Otter and Larry. Right?
Oh boy.
Larry's one of our favorite people. So here we go. You ready?
Yeah, you just gotta bang that, put it in your pocket, and twirl. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. There you go, Larry. Don't worry, got another one. These fishes. Ooh, what is this, Larry?
Larry,
this is yours.
Yeah, this is yours, Larry.
Larry, just gotta bang it right there on the wall. Hold on, I'm coming. Just hang on, Larry. Just gotta try one more thing here. We just gotta come up here, just bang it on the door. Yeah, just bang the shit out of it. Yep. Hold on. 1, 2. Yep, that's gonna be good. All right, Larry. Funny business aside. Give me the thing.
That's pretty good, Larry.
Let's do this.
That's a pretty skilled otter, I have to
that's
say.
Larry.
I've never seen
that otter's doing
skilled.
it up. All right, so some dad reflexes coming up next.
Nice.
Right, so this is some classic dad reflexes here. Right, so here's the classic TikTok with the White Claw on top. Right, no, where's it going? No, not the White Claw.
No, not
the White Claw.
Oh.
Dad's like, oh, I got it.
And
I got it.
Wow.
I got it. Good for you, Pops. Good for you.
Off the basketball. That's pretty decent dad reflex.
Off the basketball. So this is one I showed you earlier, but this is Mexican rapper Dan Sur gets gold chains surgically implanted in his scalp. Now that story alone sounds a little bit ridiculous.
Darlene, don't do this.
Yeah, don't do that. Also, don't put diamonds in your forehead. That was the other rapper, I think, that did that. That like has since
show the picture.
Been upset. But in case you wanted to see what that looks like, this is what that looks like.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I didn't see it up close.
Sorry. You have to. Now, how do you? What shampoo do you use? Is this like VO5 territory or like, do you got to take like the Brillo pad out? How does cleaning operate with this?
How do you get through airport security?
Oh my God! You just gotta like, yes, I know, it's right here.
And how do you stop? And how do you stop How do you stop from being robbed for your hair?
Yeah, I don't know. This cannot be a good move.
Like that.
This is just
that string of bling.
All sorts
just
of
yanked that right out his dome.
Oh my God!
Bye.
Just one wrong move at the like at the Grammys, and you're done.
Damn. Mexican rapper Dan Sur. Wow.
Yeah, Don Sur. That cannot be comfortable to sleep on, says high-heeled elephant. But what's this next one? Oh, sunglasses problem. So I have this
magnets.
problem.
Oh my God, Darlene. Yes,
so
magnets. Holy shit. Strong
magnets. Strong magnets.
Would lift him in the air.
He can never go for an MRI.
No.
He never go for an MRI ever again.
Ever.
So as a bearded white guy, this happens to me. I had to get very specific sunglasses.
So I have to use the work truck sunglasses, but it's a no problem. Instant racist. Just
you can't.
It's just I can't wear these.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's just
bald white guy with a beard cannot wear wraparound Oakleys. Not allowed. That is thumb.
No,
that is a thumb.
Yep, that's a thumb. So we have a little bit of horrible, hilarious. Just one. Is this horrible or hilarious?
I think it's a little bit of both, but it's kind of hilarious.
I don't think he's. I think he's fine, right? It's just Wilhelm scream. I
think he's gonna be all right.
You know,
I think he'd be all right. I think somebody caught him on the other side. I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad I didn't see the other side.
So. So here's a little bit more horrible, hilarious right there. Right,
what the hell
this guy's
was
just
that?
working on his stuff, and then he's just working on it. It is fine, and it's just there's no pressure. I took it all out, boss. I swear.
What my God! It's a missile!
You know
Holy shit! That was like it looked like an army tank.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
what was that?
Can you should know how much money is here, right? These are all Tesla Model S's.
Oh my goodness. They're not supposed to.
In California,
you're not supposed to be able to see the roof from that angle.
No, no, they cannot. All right, now where is this? The last one. Why is that one now missing?
Somebody
that makes
banged
no sense.
into the truck and knocked it sideways. I guess is that what happened?
Yeah. It just like, what do they call that? Jackknifed.
Damn.
Right.
That's going to be some upset people that ordered some cars, and with all the chips in the cars, scrap those bitches and get the chips out. If anybody doesn't know, car dealerships are hurting for inventory because of this chip shortage. And dent and scratch sale for sure. If they can repair those. I don't know if they can. Those are really cool.
Guitar.
So speaking of car dealerships.
Okay.
Right. We have this guy, right, who he's just, he had some repairs, and they didn't quite get it through. Let's just listen to his commentary here.
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me, bro. Get your hands off me. All right, I'm up here at Twins Auto Sale. These niggas sold me this janky ass fucking Jeep and this bitch had me wait a whole fucking week. Told me it was gonna be fucking fixed. Go ahead, talk about I'm under the influence, had me waiting all fucking week. Then fuck me out of $600 more. You ain't got shit to say now, do you? Your motherfucking ass going viral now. You should be twin dick auto sales because y'all be putting dicks in motherfuckers' asses.
You need to leave, bro.
The fuck you mean? I'm high, drinking too much. I'm high off life, motherfucker. Come on, bro.
You need to leave, man.
Come on, bro.
Guaranteed financing.
Guaranteed fuck you in your ass.
Guaranteed financing.
Come on, motherfucking twins. Motherfucking twins. Hey, you just tripped me, bro. You just put your fucking foot on me, bro.
What are you gonna do? What you gonna do now?
You gonna put your foot on me, bro? You gonna trip me?
It's not even working.
They have like the smallest guy in the office.
Stop fucking touching me, bro.
Now it takes like all 9 of these guys.
Oh no.
To like deal with that one guy.
Oh no. What are they doing?
Oh
what are
man.
you doing?
Yep. But guaranteed financing. Guaranteed financing.
Guaranteed financing. At least he made his pitch in the middle of the thing. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Come on down to Dick's. What?
That
Dick's
is not. That is not an optimal customer experience. Let's just say that.
No, that's good though.
Wow.
I love that.
That.
But
damn. So don't go to that place because.
Don't go to that place. Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
And on that note,
but yeah, I think that's all I had.
I think we're good. So we didn't do this last week, but I'm actually going to ask people to like and share and subscribe. We are on all these different platforms.
Good idea.
So YouTube,
call to actions, make sure to hit that bell.
Right.
You know.
Right. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Odyssey, Vimeo, Telegram, hell, the Discord, independentleft.gg. Join the Substack.
The Jimmy
blog.
Dore Discord. Go to @DoreDiscord on Twitter. We have a link in the bio there for that. You should join that as well.
The leftists.today blog, the Substack that we publish out twice a day, and of course, independentleft.news, which is the fire hose, and all of the links that you see can be found at independentleft.media, which is our LinkTree, and you can see that in the chat right now that Nightbot is posting. Yeah, I do set up commands for Nightbot, wicked bastard. See, thank you.
Denton scratch sales, says Darlene.
Yep, Denton scratch. That's good. Okay, everybody. Well, thanks again. Appreciate everyone hanging out. Well, have a good night.
Good night.
We'll see you soon.
Good night, everyone.
See you next Saturday midnight.
Peace, love, and soul.
And this was How Did We Miss That?
Same bat time.
How did we miss that?
Same bat channel.
Episode 3. Ha.